Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to walk you through the two different types of 403(b) plans available and why choosing the wrong one can make for a very expensive and sticky situation. And so it's really important to make sure you know the difference between the two different types of 403(b)s you can choose from so you don't make this mistake. My name is Meikle, the co-founder of Scenic Financial, and I specialize in helping school district employees in Washington State build better financial lives. If you like this video and want more content like this, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want to get email alerts, please subscribe to the email list below in the comments. Alright, so the two types of 403(b) plans available are the 403(b) or TSA plans, and you have the 403(b)(7) plans. And there's a really big difference between the two, and it can get even more confusing because sometimes the school district will label a 403(b)(7) plan as a TSA. So let's just quickly break down how to identify which one you have. So the first type of 403(b) plan there is are ones known as TSAs, or tax shelter annuity. So these are annuity-based 403(b) plans, and they are issued by life insurance companies. So if you currently have an account with one of these life insurance companies, then the chances are this is what you have here. So they work just like any other account, but a couple of key differences here is because it's annuity-based, these things have surrender charges attached to them. So what that means is when you put money into them, that money has to stay there for a period of time. Whether it's 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years, it's going to depend on the company you selected. And if you were to take that money out or move it to a different company before that time period was up, you're going to be hit with an extra penalty. So it's kind of a sticky situation, and that's why it may cost you extra money to try to leave that company. Now the other thing with this is those same surrender charges operate often on a rolling basis. So what that means is every time you add new money into the plan, it's going to start a new 10 or 15 year, whatever your surrender charge period is. So if I put in $100 this month, that money has to stay there, say, for 10 years. Next month I put in another $100, that month's contribution has to stay in there for another 10 years, and so on and so forth. So it just keeps on rolling and rolling and rolling. So it can take quite some time to be able to get all your money out without paying these kind of penalties. Now the other thing to know about these plans is typically the fees in these are often higher. Because they're annuity-based plans, you have to pay something called an M&E fee, or mortality and expense charge, and oftentimes they're going to be set from 1 to 1.2, even 1.5%, just as like an administrative charge. The other thing to know is when it comes to the investment selection of these plans, they're very limited, often less than 100 funds to choose from. It may seem like a lot, but often they're not going to be the best funds available for those categories. And most times they're going to be operated by the life insurance company you bought the 403(b) from. So it's going to be that company's own mutual funds. So when you pay them a fee for those investment funds, it actually goes back to the company. So you pay them the original M&E or administrative fee plus the investment fees all go to that company. So you can see it's a real moneymaker for them. So with these plans, because they have that short list, you may not be getting the best deal there. And oftentimes the fees are going to be pretty high as well, often 1% or higher for those plans. So in total, we see these plans running anywhere from 2 to 3% on average in total fees. So it can really eat away at your future growth potential. Now, because these are annuity plans, they pay commissions out to the advisors that sell them. So that's why oftentimes when you have people knocking on your door, they actually work for one of those life insurance companies, and they're going to put you into this model, is because they have to, feed their family, and it gives them the quickest payout. And I'll even admit it, that's how I got my start in the industry, was working for a company doing exactly that. However, once I realized what the other options were and the errors in my way, that's why I left to become independent. So now I do things totally different and actually utilize the other 403(b) option that I'm about to tell you about now. So the 403(b)(7) is an investment-based 403(b) plan. So there are no commission payouts. You simply pay an advisor a fee that you agree upon ahead of time, and there are no surrender charges. So it works just like any other investment. I put money in every single month. If I wanted to switch providers of that 403(b) plan, you can do so with no kind of penalties at all. If I want to pull some money out because I'm retired, I want to spend the money, also no penalties at all. So you totally avoid that whole surrender penalty thing. And because there's no commissions, you just pay the advisor that fixed rate. Oftentimes it's 1 to 1.5% depending on the institution that they work for or what they're going to charge you. So it's just an ongoing fee, you know exactly what it is. And there's not any kind of big incentive for them to put you in that particular one or any kind of particular company because they all pay the same. He's charging the same percentage no matter what company you select. So because just like here at Scenic, we're independent, I really don't care what provider you choose from because I charge the same fee no matter where you go. Unlike where the TSA plans, where they have those commission-based ones, oftentimes you'll see people leading you into their own company's plans or ones with the highest payouts. So the bottom line here, if you're going to use a 403B plan, make sure it's one that's a 403B7, that's not paying out commissions, that's not going to have any kind of surrender charges, that you can take your money out anytime you want to without incurring any kind of fees. Also with this type of plan is when it comes to the investment selection, you have such a bigger range of what you can choose from. Literally tens of thousands of funds that are available to you because there's no restrictions or no annuity company telling you what they can and can't use. Also, it allows you to use cheaper funds. So if you want to use a Vanguard fund charging you 0.05%, you can do that on this side here. You can't find that over on the TSA side. So when it comes to the fees here, you're going to pay an advisor. Oftentimes it's about 1%. You're going to pay the investment you want to choose. So say if it's like Vanguard charging 0.05, and then there's always going to be an administrative cost for the company we select, and usually it's not too high. So all in, we try to keep things under 2%, oftentimes 1.5% or less. And the more money you have in the plan, oftentimes the cheaper we can get those fees down to. So you can see there's a very big difference in the type of 403B plan you have going for you. So if you already have a 403B plan and you're like, oh man, I already have one of those TSA plans, how do I get out of it? It's very simple. All you do is stop putting money into that plan, start up a new 403B plan because there's no limit on how many plans you can have, and just simply shift the funding over to there. And if there actually is any money here that's out of surrender, so there's not going to be any penalty if you transfer it, you can go ahead and do that and take that money and put in that new account there and save yourself a lot of money and fees in the long run. If you haven't started one yet, then you can actually start one up anytime you want to, and I would recommend getting started on this side. Now it's important to remember that there's only a few providers that offer the 403B7 option, and unless you know what you're doing or which one to select, it's going to be hard to sniff them out. It's also important to know that many people that work for other institutions often don't use this type of plan because it cuts into their paycheck, but also because their company doesn't allow them to do so, or if they do, they have to charge a higher fee. The company dictates the fee, not the advisor in that case. So that's why being independent like we are here, we can actually control our own fees and we can actually undercut the market pretty substantially. So because we're a virtual firm, our overhead costs on a monthly basis is much, much lower than those brick and mortar locations with thousands of locations and employees. So that's why we're able to keep our costs or even our fees lower than those other places. So that's how we can actually compete against those giant institutions. So if you want to get started on one of these 403B plans, all you have to do is book a quick call with me so we can get you squared away. And coming out soon, we actually have a whole virtual portal where you can go ahead and do this yourself without even booking the appointment. So working on that, and that should be out soon. I'll link that below when it's ready to go. I hope you guys found this information helpful. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments, or if you have any questions, let me know as well. And remember that your future depends on what you do today.